Welcome to Sociology Visualized. Pierre Bourdieu, 1930 to 2002, was one of the most influential sociologists of the 20th century. He attempted to overcome one of the biggest divisions in sociology, the opposition between structure and agency. While structuralists emphasized social structures and Marxists focused on economic power, Bourdieu developed a theory that explained how social structures are reproduced through everyday practices. His work helps us understand why inequality continues even in modern democratic societies that claim to promote equality and merit. Intellectual background. Bourdieu was influenced by several classical thinkers. Karl Marx contributed the idea of class and economic capital. Max Weber influenced Bourdieu's understanding of status, prestige, and symbolic power. Emile Durkheim shaped his understanding of social structures and objective social facts. Claude Lévi-Strauss influenced him through structuralism. However, Bourdieu did not simply follow them. He synthesized their ideas and developed what he called a theory of practice, which explains how individuals act within structured social environments. Core concepts of Bourdieu. To understand Bourdieu, we must understand four key concepts: habitus, field, capital, and symbolic violence. Habitus. Habitus refers to a system of durable and transposable dispositions that individuals acquire through socialization. It includes ways of thinking, speaking, behaving, perceiving, and evaluating the world. Habitus is 1. Structured by social conditions such as class, caste, and family background. 2. Durable, meaning it remains relatively stable over time. 3. Unconscious, operating below the level of awareness. For example, a student from an elite English medium background may display confidence, fluency, and ease in formal interviews. A student from a rural government school may possess equal intelligence but lack the same confidence and linguistic style. These differences are not natural, they are products of different habitus. Thus, habitus explains how social inequality becomes internalized and appears natural. Field. A field is a structured social space or arena in which individuals and groups compete for resources and power. Examples of fields include the educational field, the political field, the religious field, the artistic field. Each field has its own rules, hierarchy, and forms of capital that are valued. Individuals enter a field with their habitus and compete using the capital they possess. Capital. Bourdieu expanded the concept of capital beyond economics. According to him, power exists in multiple forms. Economic capital. This includes money, property, and financial assets. Cultural capital. This includes education, knowledge, language style, manners, and cultural competence. Cultural capital exists in three forms: embodied form, skills, accent, posture, habits. Objectified form, books, artworks, instruments. Institutionalized form, degrees and qualifications. Social capital. This refers to networks, connections, and social relationships that can provide advantages. Symbolic capital. This includes prestige, honor, recognition, and reputation. Symbolic capital is particularly powerful because it is perceived as legitimate authority. For example, the prestige associated with elite universities or administrative services becomes a form of symbolic power. Symbolic violence. Symbolic violence refers to subtle and invisible forms of domination that are accepted as natural by those who are dominated. Unlike physical violence, symbolic violence operates through culture, language, and norms. For instance, considering English as superior to regional languages. Viewing elite manners as more civilized. Believing that examination success reflects pure merit. In these cases, dominant cultural values are imposed as universal standards, and subordinate groups accept them without questioning. Theory of practice. Bourdieu summarized his approach through a conceptual formula. Practice equals habitus times capital plus field. This means that an individual's action is shaped by their internalized dispositions, habitus. The resources they possess, capital. The social arena in which they operate, field. This formulation bridges structure and agency. Individuals are neither completely free nor completely determined, they act within structured constraints. Education and social reproduction. In the book Reproduction in Education, Society and Culture, written with Jean-Claude Passeron, Bourdieu argued that education systems reproduce social inequality rather than eliminate it. Schools claim to be meritocratic. However, they reward the cultural capital of the dominant class. Middle-class children enter school already equipped with language skills, cultural knowledge, and confidence that align with institutional expectations. Working-class children often lack these forms of capital. As a result, success appears to be based on merit, but it actually reflects inherited advantage. Distinction and taste. In his major work Distinction, a social critique of the judgment of taste, Bourdieu demonstrated that taste is socially structured. Preferences for music, food, art, clothing, and leisure are not purely individual choices. They reflect class position. Upper classes define what counts as refined taste, while working-class preferences are often dismissed as inferior. Thus, taste becomes a mechanism of social distinction and class differentiation. Contributions. Bourdieu made several major contributions. 1. He connected structure and agency in a systematic way. 2. He expanded the concept of capital beyond economics. 3. He developed a powerful theory of cultural domination. 4. He explained how education reproduces inequality. 5. He influenced sociology of culture, media studies, education, and political sociology. Criticisms. Despite his influence, Bourdieu has been criticized for 1. Being overly deterministic, as Habitus may appear too rigid. 2. Underestimating resistance and social change. 3. Using complex and dense language. 4. Giving limited attention to macro-level political economy compared to classical Marxism. Relevance today. Bourdieu remains highly relevant in contemporary society. His concepts help explain the divide between English medium and vernacular education, prestige hierarchies among universities, coaching industry inequality, social media influence as symbolic capital, reproduction of class and caste privilege. His framework is particularly useful for analyzing Indian society, where education, language, and cultural capital strongly influence life chances. Conclusion. Pierre Bourdieu demonstrated that inequality is not reproduced only through economic means. It is reproduced through culture, education, taste, language, and symbolic recognition. His theory reveals that domination is most effective when it appears natural and legitimate. Understanding Bourdieu allows us to see that social reality is structured, but it is reproduced through everyday practices. Power operates not only through money and force, but through culture and recognition. If you found this lecture helpful, do like, subscribe and share this video. Thank you.